And y'all don't know what I went through.
Do you have a car in your hands right now?
Nike Talk was that place that spiraled what you enjoy now.
Anyone who brought a Kobe shoe in, I'll clean it for free.
Man, Melo was better than a lot of people in the league.
I saw that. My favorite jersey is that one, the Barkley.
Kobe Fours.
Oh, yeah.
Episode 29. This is the Dandin and RJ Machismo podcast. This is Dandin. Tonight, RJ Machismo, my co-host, will not be here today, but he does want to say what's up to the homie. So tonight we got our homie Rickey Santos. He is a small business owner for Inside Move Sports or basketball. Thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me on. I've been watching your guys' shows for the past few months or so, and I really appreciate what you guys are doing for the culture, especially just having these like genuine conversations about sneakers, which we all share the hobby for. And, you know, it's just a pleasure to be on. Thank you.
Oh, anytime, man. Yeah, I'm glad to have you on. So, you know, it's just funny, right? Like just backstory how I met Rickey. You know, through Facebook. There's a group called LA Kicks where they buy, sell, and trade. And I was just looking around, looking for stuff, and then I see Rickey, seeing something that caught my eye, and he just we just talked, and then he saw my Facebook and saw we had like mutual friends, and he played basketball with my cousin, and then just snowball effect, everything just kind of just kicked, we just kicked it just genuinely. So yeah, it's crazy, right? Small world. Like, we just knew mutual friends, and we just kicked it off to the right start.
Yeah, bro, for sure. Like, I definitely recognize your last name, Kamlas. Shout out to Jeremy. But yeah, like, it's pretty cool that you can meet people on Facebook and still have those genuine conversations about stuff you like and the hobby that you share. Because there's a lot of just like resale business out there, but it's definitely dope to connect with others. And, I'm glad that I met you.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, same here. So we're going to start off with you, Rickey. So tell us more about yourself.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name is Rickey Santos. I'm 26 years old from the city of Covina, California. I go by Rick Havoc on IG. I run our family-owned business, jersey, sneakers, and vintage pages by the name of Inside Move Sports, InsideMoves.kicks, and InsideMoves.vtg for vintage. I'm also like a big fan of basketball. We'll go into the stories later on in this interview, most likely. But yeah, my hobbies with basketball, my dad coaching me in basketball, being surrounded by the sport, whether it's through Filipino leagues back then, tagging along with him, coaching travel ball, who he's coached like Asi Taulava, Jimmy Alapak, Mark Agiwa, names like that. And then being coached by him throughout my whole life, being able to go to NBA summer leagues back in the day, going to like Frankenson's card collectible shows. So definitely really blessed to have been around the hobby and being shown by it through my dad. So
that's dope. So your dad used to coach like PBA players?
Yeah, there used to be like a travel team back here in SoCal, like Pac Room Sports. They're like one of the bigger Filipino leagues, and they had a travel team. And some of those guys, while they're still here before they went to the PBA, my dad used to coach them. I was like 5 years old, tagging along at their tournaments. So
okay, that's cool. So like, let me ask you a question. Like, who does your dad like root for the PBA? Does he have like a specific team? If
no,
you
I don't
remember the name of the team or
I don't think he has a specific team, but I do know a few of them, like the Talk and Text Phone Pals, Jimmy and Aussie, of course, and then you got the San Miguel Beerman. and Ginebra, Marky
And
Gulo.
then, yeah.
I think Alex Cabagno, I think he's on San Miguel or Ginebra, or maybe he got traded. But those are some of the names that I've grown up with. I actually don't know Mark, but I was around like Alex and Jimmy and them.
Do you know this team called Pure Foods, Tender Juicy?
Yeah, that name does sound familiar.
Like the hot dog team. They wear the blue jerseys, blue and white.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my like growing up. I used to live in the Philippines, me and RJ. So like that was our team back in the day when like when you had NBA like watching it early in the morning and then you had PBA at night. So you had like different like teams to root on. So for me, like I like Pure Foods because Alvin Patrimonio, he was like the big man. Like I think he was like the how do I say? He was kind of like the Kevin Garnett of the '80s. Like he was just like the best. Like he had like crucial post moves. Won championships. So and he was dope. Like he even it's funny. He even won a raffle. I remember reading it up in the Philippines. This shoe place called Titan shoes.
Oh yeah.
That was when the Titanium 23s came out, the Carolina Blues. So he actually won off a raffle, and like his name was on like he was on TFC, and like he just couldn't believe it. He was just like holding the shoe, and then people were just going crazy. So
That's dope. That's crazy. That's pretty cool that a PBA player got it through a raffle and not like a back door. So
no, it was all legit. Like he put his name in the raffle. I was watching it too. I was just like shocked because me and Arya were trying to get the 23s back then, but it was just hard to find with those titanium. So all right, man. So we're just gonna dive into this. So Ricky, so how did you get into collecting sneakers, and which ones are your favorite pairs?
yeah, that's a loaded question. How did I get into collecting? As I mentioned before, my dad was like a big impact on all the stuff I liked. So he was actually like an OG collector back in the day, back before reselling. Like I grew up maybe at like 6 years old, like recognizing his shoes. He had like the Barclays, the Chris Webbers, the Air Max basketball shoes, the up tempos, and then he had like the retros. Later on, that collection grew into like Kobe's, Nike basketball shoes, all sorts of stuff, even like basketball action figures and like slam magazines, like all of that 90s, early 2000s nostalgia. So like one story I always like to mention is when I was like 6 years old, I used to go into like his shoe boxes, open the shoes up, and then look at the Jordan retro cards and like just memorize them from like 1 through 15. So yeah, that's how I definitely got into sneakers through my dad. And also just being around the game of basketball, watching these players that you look up to, seeing the swag they got on, wanting to be like them and have the shoes that they have. Yeah, so to talk about like my favorite pairs, um, so I have so my top 5 favorite shoes would probably be the ones that like give me the most sentimental value. Like I have like Off-White for sales at home or like some of the more hype stuff, but like those shoes don't really like connect with me. I would say like my top 5 would be, I actually have them right next to me, like the Cool Gray 4s. I can pull them out. Cool Gray 4s, Cool Gray 11s, that I actually sold, white cement 4s. So the white cement 4s, like, funny story, like me and my dad used to go to like Ontario Mills when we were young, me and my dad and my little brother. And before we go to the mall, my dad would be like, all right, guys, like, which shoes are you guys gonna wear? And me and my brother would always like pick the dopest one. So at the time, I would be rocking like the 1999 retro white cement. And then as a kid, and then like we always noticed that the employees would like break their necks. Uh, and like as young as I was, like that was like a flex that I didn't even know what the word flex meant. But yeah, definitely like that shoe is like probably one of my favorites. Yeah, here's the 2016 one.
Wow.
There's like I said, I like gray, the shadows. I like the shadow one, especially from 2009. I felt like that leather quality was just like impeccable. Like everybody talks about the 2011 band ones that came out at the outlets, but the 2009 shadows were probably like one of the better leather at the time. Like everybody hates on like the Jumpman logo, but this leather, if you can see it, like it's just like really buttery.
That is dope. I mean, I miss my pair. It's funny. Me and RJ used to have the 29 the 2009 Shadow ones, because back then it was like before the hype, as you can tell. The shoes were easy to get. They were just on shelf. You just you just cop them, and then of course like size will be limited, but the availability is there for you to cop it. You just have to get it within that week. So yeah, the 2009 pair definitely, in my opinion, it's like the best quality Jordan, because that tumbled leather on the tongue too, that suede tongue. Yeah,
Yo,
yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. That one. It is just crazy.
yeah,
Crazy.
bro.
You can brush your finger through the suede, and then you see how nice that suede feels, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just hard to maintain though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, shoes come and go, but of course, like you try to preserve as much as you want, as much as you can. So let me ask you this, Ricky, about your dad. Like, when your dad was buying shoes, was he buying them to play basketball in, or just to like, just to collect?
A little bit of both. He played in some of them, and then he started collecting them after like he started noticing that the shoes with retro. So he used to tell me that like yeah, like I used to have like the OG Jordan 4s, but after I used to play in them, I would send him off to the Philippines, and like yeah, like he's doing a good deed for like his family, but he'd be like upset when they would retro, and he's like, damn, like I already had these shoes, like why did I like give them away? Um, so yeah, just like a little bit of both. He definitely wore some of them, and then he kept them long enough for when like me and my brother were in middle school and we like fit his size. We would wear them. Some would crumble on us like at school
Oh
because,
man.
because like they're just so old, like just like crazy stories like that. But
Which shoes can you and your brother remember like crumbled, like when you guys wore them to school? Can you remember any shoes that you wore?
yeah, so this was actually not like a hand me down, but my brother was wearing like one of the earlier retros of the Jordan 3 white cement. I think it was,
Ooh,
I can't remember the day. Maybe it was like
94. It was
94.
94. Yeah.
Yeah, 94. So like me, even my older sister, we used to all like pass down each other's shoes. So my brother was wearing them and he was playing basketball in them. And he said that they just like crumbled. So for him, they crumbled. And he was probably like in fourth or fifth grade.
Damn. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, I guess during that time, like shoes back then, there's a time frame, right? As far as like you have a certain amount of time, because the polyurethane on the Jordan threes, as it gets older, with what as you know you- we're- when you have them as far as like exposed to sun, exposed to air, water,
Mhm.
it all that stuff accumulates, and it's just gonna fall apart at some point. That's why, like, you just gotta wear them as much as you can. Like, a lot of people been flexing, having. I don't understand, like, people like have these shoes that haven't worn, and then they wear them like 10 years later, and then the bubble will pop, or like the sole will separate. So life's too short. Like, you just gotta just wear your shoes, man.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, my dad wore a lot of them, but he also like kept a lot like brand new. I
That's
never
dope.
really knew what his like goal was at the end, whether was it to like resell or have a business, or
Yeah,
maybe he was just collecting. I don't know,
yeah.
but yeah, like I guess like one thing I also wanted to mention and on like sneakers and getting into it, like in middle school, I discovered Soul Collector forums. I was late in the game. That was like 2008, 2009. I was like eighth grade. But I started noticing that people were still paying money for like vintage Jordan 4s crumbled. Like, so that's kind of like what started us to look at like reselling his shoes. He was just like, yo, like if these are gonna yellow over time, if they're gonna crumble, like we might as well sell them now before it's too late. So that's kind of like how a little bit of how that started up. But
Yeah, most definitely, and we'll definitely jump in, more about that, as far as like your family business. So, um, next question for you. So I know I've seen your stuff. I've seen your stuff through like social media. So you got a dope pair that very rare, very rare in my opinion. So you have a 1985 Jordan 1 collection that you own. Tell us more about it.
yeah, I actually brought them out right here. So let's start off with the shoes. So, this was like July of last year, quarantine, working from home. So everybody knows that like working from home, you have the luxury of going to sleep late at night because you don't gotta like get up and get ready for work. So I was just like on my phone scrolling. It was all by accident, like 2 a.m. on Facebook. I just happened to search up 1985 Jordan 1. A listing came up and it was like being sold by a guy that wasn't a sneakerhead. He just like had a lot of collectibles. I'm not sure if he knew like what they were worth, but I kind of like sat on the listing for a couple of days, like did some research on the different like conditions that you should buy the shoe for, like if the sole is like flexible on the bottom or super hard, or like how crunchy the sock liner is. So yeah, it was all through Facebook, like the peak of The Last Dance, like July. And I was like kind of in the market for maybe the 2015 pair. I saw them going for like around 1,000. And I was just like, why would anybody pay that much for the retro? Like, why don't you just look for the OG? So yeah, here it is right here. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I couldn't believe it. I like to like sent the pictures out to the like OG Kicks 20 years and below group, asking them if like the paint was ever reconditioned, or just wanted to make sure that this wasn't a shoe that was like touched. So yeah, I mean it didn't come with the OG box, but they did come with the original laces that I have separately. So yeah,
Wow.
I paid a pretty penny for them. But I definitely was like reselling left and right after I bought these shoes just to make up for it. But yeah, size 11. I guess these shoes run like half a size small. So I actually have worn them. I do wear them occasionally. Um, and then to go along with this, like recently I just picked up the 1985 Jordan 1 tracksuit. Um, got them off of a live or an IG live auction, Instagram live auction. So you got the top right here.
Whoa.
You got the blue tag. I think this is like the 80s era. And then it also came with the pants too, which don't fit me right now. I don't know if it's because of just the 80s style back then, or maybe
That's
it's quarantine weight.
Oh my God, that's
But
dope.
I definitely plan to wear these one day. Hopefully, I can fit into them. But yeah, man, like a crazy set to have. I'm definitely like looking for like the T-shirt that it came with, like the T-shirt that came with like the jersey stitched on and the hat. But not in a rush. If it comes up, it comes up. But yeah, man, pretty sick. Yeah.
Man, you just broke this. You just broke this podcast, man. Just asking that one question. Wow.
Yeah.
How's the stars on the soles? Are they still there, or like what's the condition?
I would say like 85%, 80% stars.
Okay.
When I got the shoe, there isn't like whole lot of heel drag.
Okay.
I've worn them since then, and they're like a little bit big on me. So
Okay.
I've, you know, the heel is gonna drag, but the shoes are definitely wearable. I'm just like concerned with like the sock liner. I don't know if you can hear it like being
Yeah.
crunchy, but they said that like once it gets too dry, like the foam will just get all over the place, and that's when you'd want to like look to restore it.
Yeah. And I can definitely I do have a friend in mind that can restore those shoes. So shout out to my homie Hillary from Long Beach. He's a small business owner as well. So
You
I
know,
can yep, that's the homie right there.
Hillary actually restitched these for me. So
There you go. Tell him Dandin sent you, and you be like, "Oh, I know him, man. That's my dude, man." Yeah. So
yeah, for sure.
definitely he can definitely take care of those 85s for you because um, that is first and foremost a grail piece that not many people have in their collection or they're in possession. Especially the fact that you have the matching suit, which is insane. Like how much of a difference was the time you got the shoes and the time you got the suit? Like what was the span on that?
Yeah, so I got the shoes in July 2020. And I just got the suit recently, maybe like 3 months ago. I just got
Wow.
lucky. Like, I guess there's this whole wave of people vendoring merchandise on Instagram Live, where like they can showcase an item and the people watching the live can comment on it to bid on it. Um, so like once I saw it, I was like, dang, like, am I ever gonna like come across this again?
Hmm.
Like especially like near my size, like I wear size large to XL, and like a couple of days before that, I was actually at Round Two Vintage in Melrose, and I had come across like a pair of pants, but they're a size medium, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna fit these. So I mean, luckily everything just happened at the right time. Um, yeah, definitely some grill pieces that like I probably wouldn't sell unless like it was like a family emergency. But
Oh
um,
no. I hope you keep them,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
let's not come across dire, dire desperation. So, man. So those 85 ones, how are they comfort wise compared to like the retros that you wear?
I would say they're a lot different. They kind of feel like to me they kind of feel like a Nike Dunk High. Like the toe box is like a lot different than like your typical Jordan 1. I would say like this toe box is like a little bit smaller. This one is a little bit bigger. And then there's just the overall leather and the shoe itself. Like the midsoles are just super, super thick and heavy. Whereas like the original Jordan 1 or the retro Jordan 1s, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
a
I
lot
could
thinner.
definitely see. There's like about an inch more as far as like the thickness. Yeah,
Yeah.
about an inch.
But yeah, I mean the recent like 2021 neutral grades kind of lined up pretty good to this. I have it in the room, but I just didn't bring it out. Um, but yeah, I mean like they're not separating, or hopefully not yet. Um, Jordan ones don't crumble, so
No, they
it's
don't.
definitely like a dope shoe to have, especially just to look at, or I'll wear them. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's so. How do you store them? Like, do you store them like in a glass case? Like, how do you store those 85 ones?
So yeah, right now or before I was storing them in like the container boxes, the clear drop fronts. I'm trying to do a little bit more research on it. I've heard people like put them in like a Ziploc bag and keep them at like 70 degrees Fahrenheit with the silica packs on them, and I
Oh
think that's
man,
that's what I should do, you know. But
silica packs.
yeah, silica packs, bro. Like that's what
Oh
also
my
what I love.
god.
So collector. Like there used to be this store at the mall. I'm going on a tangent, but Steve
What?
Barry's. Are you familiar? Like
I heard
Stephen
of berries.
Marbury?
Yeah, it's a shoe
So
store.
like so they used to have like all the silica packs in all the little Stephen Marbury shoe boxes, and I didn't go to buy them, but like I'd always tell my dad like, hey, like I'm gonna go pick up some silica packs. I was like maybe like 12, 13 years old, and just like walk out with all of them, and then put them in our shoe collection back at the storage.
It's crazy, right? Because those silica packs, like it was supposed to prevent like oxidation from like clear soles. That's why, like, like we got information from Nike Talk, from Soul Collector, and like it was crazy. Like you just put like 5 silica packs on a Jordan 6 infrared or Concord 11s, or a Space Jam, so that way preserves like the iciness of the soles. But
Yeah.
it's crazy, like, and then silica packs, like you were saying, like you just get the only place you can get them is at a shoe store. Just like you just where to get them. Like you went to Barry's. I would like ask, just side stories. Yeah, I would just ask the like the cashier, "Hey, like, do you have any silica packs?" So I just like cop them off it.
Do they know what it meant?
No, they were just like, "Oh, you mean that little the gel thing?" Like, yeah, the gel thing inside the shoe. Like, you guys don't need that. So
Yeah.
luckily, like I would go to like Payless, because Payless like don't care. It's
Yeah, for sure.
$10 shoes, so they just get the one stuff in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's definitely dope, man. Thanks for sharing that. Um, Next question for you. So, you operate a family-owned business called Inside Move Sports.
Mhm.
How long have you been in the business for, and what kind of products do you guys offer?
Yeah, so I guess to just provide some background, Inside Move Sports was started by my dad back in like 1993, 94, where like the basketball genre of like clothing brands were starting up. You had like N1, where they had like the trash talk shirts saying like "you can't guard me," or all those other like cool slogans. And at the time, he started his own brand called Inside Move Sports. Was selling shirts at like Venice Beach, different trade shows, and also doing like silk screen printing for like local basketball leagues. And then like around like the mid 2000s, just things got busy with family, and him like also taking the time to coach us. So there was like a hiatus or pause between Inside Move Sports as a clothing brand versus Inside Move Sports to selling. So now going into the selling piece of it, we talked about Soul Collector, we talked about like the crumbling shoes. So I started selling a lot of his shoes through Soul Collector under a different avatar name, Heat Ball 5. But in 2015, that was in 2008, 2009, and then in 2015 or 2014, I decided to make a jersey page. Um, my dad had a big collection of basketball jerseys that he collected over the years, found at like either thrift shops or different department stores. I don't know if you're familiar with like AJ Wright or Ross or
Yep.
Marshall. Yeah, those are some good times. And yeah, I just started posting them back in 2015. Our page was primarily focused on jerseys, like NBA authentic jerseys. But my dad is like a collector of sneakers and vintage items as well. So just recently, maybe like a year ago, 2 years ago, I decided to make the Inside Moves.kicks page where we sell his sneakers and some of the ones that I buy and resell, and then a vintage page that's like still in its initial steps right now, but selling a lot of his like older mid 2000s Nike t-shirts or Bulls championship shirts or Lakers shirts. Yeah, those are popping right now. So yeah, jerseys, sneakers, and vintage.
That's dope. Your dad reminds me of me, with my kid. So, that's my plan. Hopefully, if my kid wants to continue the stuff I pass along with him. I mean, I'm not gonna tell him to resell, but I got some dope stuff that I haven't, like set aside for him. So yeah, that's really dope. Like, so your dad also collect jerseys. So what, like, I guess, what was like what was the craziest like set of jerseys that your dad owned that you realized I guess back then, like, oh yeah, this is a Michael Jordan champion jersey or Nike jerseys. And then as you got older, what jerseys did your dad own, or did your dad like store it had in store that you realized had that showed how rare it was or how sought after it was?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question. Like as the guy that runs the social media page and is pushing for sales and posting and making like wanting to get a sale, my dad's more on like, all right, if it sells, it sells. If not, then cool. Like it's our collection. But to answer your question, like one that comes to mind is like the Jordan 1998 Nike Pro Cut jersey. It was a size 50, length +4, had the tags attached still. We had sold it last year, actually, right before the last dance. I think the buyer was pretty smart. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's a jersey that is a grail piece to a lot of people. Back when we started, I was selling a lot of his like Kobe jerseys. And at the time, like in 2014, 2015, Kobe jerseys weren't, rest in peace, by the way, but they weren't going for a whole lot. Um, we sold like his 2005 NBA All Star jersey. It was like the one in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of those jerseys anymore, and we had two of them. We sold it. We also had like the original Allen Iverson Georgetown Nike jersey. That one was new without tags. It was size 48. Didn't fit either of us. We sold it.
Damn.
So yeah, like a lot of the jerseys that we have now, they're kind of just like the ones that we haven't sold yet. But back in like 2014, 2015, we had like a lot of grill pieces.
That's crazy. So you had is it the home or away 97 98 jersey that you guys
Yeah,
had?
it was the red one.
Sheesh. That's dope.
Yeah. There's a lot that come to mind. Like he still has like the NBA at 50 anniversary Clyde
Wow,
Drexler
the gold
jersey.
patch.
Yeah, the Clyde Drexler. We have like Arvidas Sabonis Blazers jersey, new with tags from the Blazers. You don't see a lot of those. I've been looking on eBay. Nothing in size 44 new with tags. Definitely have a premium price for that one, just
Of
because like
course.
it's a collector's price, We've had like the Nike Dwayne Wade's to the 2007 All Star in Las Vegas, authentics for Kevin Garnett, Dwayne Wade, LeBron. Like we all sold those too. But like, what's the craziest thing about my dad's jersey collection that differentiates between how I resell or how I find things? Like he found them all for player prices.
Shout out to the player price. Hey, that definitely. I mean, your dad, I'm sure had to hoard all that stuff. And I hate the word hoarding, but it is hoarding, where you
Yeah.
see a jersey for $20, $10, $15. You're not gonna just say no. You're just gonna get it. And then at some point, you're in your mind like, you know what, I'm gonna keep it. And then eventually, you had like 200, 300 jerseys and decided to just sell it. Now everybody wants the in thing now is jerseys, right? Like the vintage jerseys. Like a lot of people are looking for champions and Nikes, even Reeboks and Adidas. So that's like the hot stuff right now, especially like vintage stuff that you're selling as well. So a lot of pieces that you sold now, of course, either you have like very low, minimum quantities, or it's already been sold out of stock. Those are like really grail pieces now that people are gonna paying top dollar for them. So
Yeah. I've learned that maybe I shouldn't have rushed my dad in the past to sell them, but you learn as you do it,
of
right? So
course,
like
of course.
we haven't branched out to eBay yet, just because I was trying to avoid seller fees. But eBay has been around since 1999, 2000, and maybe like the people on eBay are looking for the jerseys that I have because I'm just on Instagram, and
Hmm.
Instagram is new. So those are just like some of the little
Yeah,
things like marketing or
yeah.
outlets or platform stuff that I'm learning as we go. But but yeah, I mean, I got some jerseys next to me that I personally like.
Yeah, let's see them if you want to share them.
Yeah. So let's see. So yeah, I didn't mention earlier, but I'm like a big Clippers fan.
There you
Um,
go.
You know, before the Lob City days, back in like 2001, 2002, my dad used to take us to the Clipper games because tickets were super cheap, basically like movie ticket prices. So as a lot of people follow me, like I have like a hashtag 2Taps Tuesday. So
Wow, that's a
Clippers,
nice
man,
piece.
yeah, Darius Miles
G
champion.
Miles.
It's also
That is
mine. Yeah.
wow. It's signed.
Yeah. Um, since we're on the Darius Miles and Q Rich, like I got like a game worn or supposedly game worn, game issued Q Rich New York Knicks jersey.
Wow. You can't see that. You can't find that anywhere, man.
Yeah, Q Rich is like my favorite player on the Clippers. Just because like, back to basketball jerseys and shoes, like these guys were the young guys.
Mm-hmm.
They were exciting to watch. They played hard. Yeah, the Clippers sucked, but they also had the dopest Jordans on.
They did. They did. I mean, that was Jordan's, babies back then. Those just little kids.
Yeah.
Since Marbury, yeah. Oh, no, that's the Richardson.
Yeah.
Wow, my bad.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's dope.
This one's also signed too. I don't know if these are certified or anything,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
one of the more like crazy pieces that I found was this like Q Rich media day worn jersey. I actually was able to like photo match it off of Getty Images. Yeah, it has like the mic pocket on the inside. But yeah, like before the Clippers, I actually was like a Kobe fan as like a young kid. Like everybody, especially like I don't know, Filipino families or just LA families in general, everybody like Kobe, right? And I grew to like actually dislike him because I think I fell into the whole media and them portraying him as a bad guy. But we still have this jersey. This is one that my dad gave me from I think it's from 1998.
Wow.
Size 44. Yeah, rest in peace. I wore this to his memorial.
Can I see the back? Can I see the back, Ricky? Of the Kobe?
Yeah.
Wow. Sheesh.
And to go with it, I mean, I know it's not the All-Star jersey, but my dad has had the 1998 original KB8.
Wow. Man.
Let's see. Yeah, the tag on the inside says March 98.
Oh, I can tell by the tag by itself. That's a 98 Adidas tag.
Yeah, and then it also has like the logo. I forget what the slogan was, like the feet you wear.
Feet you wear, yeah. It was the feet you wear, like it molded to like the bottom of your feet.
Yeah.
That is sick.
Yeah, dude, yeah. My dad had a lot of grill pieces, like original, like foam posit pearls. Like, like I'll show you like our old like Soul Collector photos from back.
Wait, your dad used to wear foam posits? That's a dope dad. That's a cool dad, man. That's the dad I strive to be.
Yeah, I mean, my dad was probably just like you guys. Sorry, it's messy. I don't feel like.
No, that's cool, man. This is your show, bro. This is all you.
But yeah,
that's dope.
My dad was just like you guys. Like when I watched your old episodes and you talking to like the OG Nike Talk guys or just whoever, like all your guys' stories kind of like line up with like who my dad was as a collector. So yeah.
Man, that's awesome, man. Wow, that's jeez. And then I'm sure you looked at prices. That home jersey is like at least 2 racks, like 2,000. Like ever since he passed away, like stuff now kind of went down, but for that jersey itself, that authentic jersey from 97 or 96, you can't find that in that pristine condition, because you see on eBay there's like stains, there's like stitching that's like worn off, there's like tags that's ripped off, but your jersey is like, it's in good condition. So hopefully
Yeah.
you keep those in a good, safe, climate.
Yeah, silica pack. Nah,
Silica pack. Yeah, put in a silica pack.
yeah, I haven't seen that one for going for 2,000. Maybe you're looking at like a pro cut or something.
That's
Or
awesome, man.
maybe it is
Yeah,
2,000. But
that's one of the best. You do have that's one of the best Quentin Richardson jerseys that I've seen ever. Like, I've never seen anyone like have those jerseys. And you're a fan too, you know what I mean? Like, no matter, even though he left the Clippers, like, you cop the Knicks jersey, you cop the Magic jersey, you cop the Suns jersey. I mean, you followed wherever he went. So that's, you know, that's loyalty right there. That's being a true OG fan. So much props to you.
thanks, man. Yeah, like one thing that catches my eye from your podcast is you guys talk about MJ, and you're like, yeah, like the reason why we liked his shoes is because we saw him wear it. Well,
Yep.
I didn't watch MJ, but I do know that Hugh Rich wore like the Black and Royal 13. And yeah, I definitely got those shoes, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I had to get them.
man. There was that time. I mean, shout out to the homie Mark from the last episode. Like, he's also a diehard Clippers fan. We were talking about, like, the reason why Clippers were so dope to watch is because, like you were saying, you got D Miles, you got the head bump, you got Q Richardson, you got Keon Dooling, you had Lamar Odom. You know what I'm saying? Like, these were all these people were wearing Jordan brand. Yeah, Maggette wearing Jordan brand. It was wild. Like, you see, like, I mean, didn't have PEs back then, but they were wearing like black and red 16s. They were wearing Concord 11s. They were wearing, white and navy 16s. They were wearing Jordan 17. It was just insane. So I even told, my homie Mark, yeah, I was rooting for the Clippers because they had the dopest shoes. You know what I mean? If my team sucked, I wanted to cheer for another team that got dope stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And like,
Yeah.
not even just about that, but I felt like growing up, the Clippers had like a more family-oriented atmosphere. Like, I've been to Laker games, and it felt like it was just like all Hollywood. Personally speaking, people were there just to be seen. But at a Clipper game, like when you're with your family, it was like more fun. They used to have like open practices at Staples. I remember going there with my dad and my brother, and like we were able to get on the court and like do drills with them. And that's like, personally, that's what like got me as a Clipper fan.
Man, that's dope. That's dope. So I want to ask you a question about your vintage department. So does your dad realize the stuff that he had collected back then is what people are seeking for nowadays? Like, what's old is new kind of thing?
Yes and no. Like, so when he bought them from back then, I don't think he had the intentions of being like, oh yeah, like this style is gonna come back. I'm just gonna save it. I think it was just all by accident. Um, but he's always told me like to be careful with the hype, to like not buy stuff because it's popular right now, and just to get like the classics. And then he also mentioned to me like, yeah, like everything's like a circle. Like, the style comes and goes. He keeps telling me that like baggy clothing is gonna come back, like Soldier Boy, G Unit. I'm like, no, I don't know about that. But I mean, like Polo came back, Fila came back, Champion came back, Nike Vintage obviously is gonna stay. But just stuff that like you wouldn't realize like is back. So yeah, he's told me like, yeah, like don't make fun of my clothes, because you probably are gonna dress like me when you grow up. Like, I remember like being a kid asking for new clothes for middle school, and I was like, no, I don't want to wear your clothes. Like, and then now like everybody tells me like, hey Ricky, like you kind of resemble your dad a lot. I'm just
Funny,
like,
right? It comes full circle. So it happens to all kids and dads.
yeah. Like, I saw a picture of my dad wearing like a Stussy hat back in the day. I was like, yo, what the heck?
Whoa, your dad probably skateboarded too. That's dope. That's really cool, man. All right, so more about your business, Ricky. So how important is maintaining and gaining the trust of a customer as a small business owner?
Yeah, it's really important. I think the first thing is like, as a seller, you want to put yourself in the shoes of the buyer. Like, if I was a buyer, how would I want this transaction to go? Would I want to pay for an item and then have to hit the guy up back like in 2 weeks, be like, yo, like, where's my tracking? So one thing I take pride in is making sure that the transaction goes really smooth, taking detailed pics, making sure to get all angles, get the tag, make sure to include a tag with your name on it. I feel like a lot of people don't do that right now. But also, once the item is processed, making sure to get the tracking number right away, double package the item, make the transaction as smooth as possible. So when they get the item, they're like, man, not only am I happy with the product I purchased, but I'm happy with the business, how the business went, how smooth it was. Another important thing to do to like gain their trust is to converse with them, treat people like humans. I like earlier during my time running the business or helping my dad. I used to like kind of get annoyed sometimes when people used to like waste my time and converse with me and then not buy anything, or ask for pictures and not buy anything. And sometimes like I would like react like with resentment. And then just recently, like a customer was telling me about another seller. He was like, yeah, man, like I just asked for a photo and the guy gave me like a snobby response. And that kind of like put me into perspective, or put us into perspective of like, yeah, you're running a business. It can get a little annoying at times, but you want to stay consistent because your impressions last a while. So there's that, and then also reward your loyal customers, people that purchase back to back, or have stuck with you for a long time. Mark off $20 here and there, $10 here and there. So those are just some of the things I've picked up. But yeah, like trust is very important.
Yeah, like they always say, once a customer, always a customer, right? So, um, just backstory, like how we met. You had an item, that I've seen, but I kind of like negotiated the price with you, and the price that we agreed on was reasonable. So kind of chopped it up there, you know what I mean? Like, and then you threw in a lanyard, which was dope. You mean you didn't have to, uh, and then I just saw your products, like, hey man, if I have this size, that size, let me know. So that way, you know what I'm looking for, and then regardless of like if you want to push items, you still let me know, hey, by the way, I still got this item, that item, just so that it's available. So I think that open communication that you have with customers is very important, and it's also nice that you keep everybody on the loop. So that's just like one thing that I just want to like tell you as a customer, that it's good that you still maintain uh, contact with them, because you never know when they need something, especially when you see it at hand. It's an easy transaction for you. You can just say, oh, I got this item for you, this is what you're looking for, and then you guys can just take it from there. So
Yeah, yeah,
um,
for sure. I think I would agree with that, like 100%. Like even just going back to like customer service days when I used to work at Finish Line, one of the biggest things I remembered was like our manager telling us, yeah, like make sure you remember their names, like keep that like personal connection. Don't just be a robot, or like for me behind Inside Move Sports, a robot behind the direct messaging thing. Yeah, remember their names, remember their sizes. I try to do my best to like mark down which jerseys or teams people are looking for. I have a list of like, all right, this guy asked for this size and this Kobe Mitchell and Ness jersey that I'll pre-order the next time. So yeah, it's important to remember who your customers are and know what they like, and don't be afraid to follow up. But also make sure to remember what they like if you promise them that you follow up.
So let me ask you this: when people view your store, like shoes or even between sneakers, vintage stuff, and jerseys, tell me one item that each of your department, what's like the number one most requested thing for vintage item, a jersey, sneaker. So what are the top three? Like the most sought after for each apparel.
Yeah, I think it like differs between person to person. Like what's crazy about the jersey game versus the shoe game, like people like their own individual players. That's what's like so beautiful about it. Like one person can connect to a Q Rich, where another person can connect to a Gilbert Arenas, and everybody's gonna like Kobe in LA. But there's people that hit me up for like random people, like, oh, do you have a specific game worn like bull short? And I'll be like, no, like what I have is what I have, or you have like Allen Iverson or Kevin Garnett. Um, but the most asked for jersey, like, so on the Instagram page, I'll post jerseys for sale, but I'll also post jerseys that are like part of the collection. And like, there's this guy that just would constantly hit me up for this. Like, I had it posted on my like closet page inside Move's Closet, and he was like, "Hey man, like, how much for that jersey?" 2 months later, how much for that jersey? I'd be like, "Yo, like, I respect your persistence, but in my bio it says none of this stuff is for sale." And so the Kobe jersey, like this one, gets asked about a lot. I think with shoes, the shoe part side of it has kind of been a little bit dry. Like with all of the people with bots and having backdoor access, like they're definitely like a step ahead of me there. But everybody kind of just asks for like Jordan ones, mochas. They kind of know that I don't have like full size runs, and the most of my stuff are size tens. But back when like the whole Yeezy 350 wave was happening, there was like a couple moms of like my brother's friends that would like keep in contact with me. So that was cool. Like once you like sell something to a customer, and if the next time, if you're gonna go for like a raffle or something, sometimes I would go hit them up and be like, "Yo, like, do you want this shoe? Like, I'll put in for your size. Let me know." And then that's what kind of like builds it. Um, Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent,
No,
but
no, no, it's okay.
like with the vintage stuff, I'm still really new to it. Honestly, I don't think there's people really hitting me up for specific items. There's a lot more vintage heads out there that know more about the vintage game way more than me, and I'm learning from people. So, I mean, a lot of stuff right now is like the Lakers championship tees. That was hot like last October up until like January. It's kind of died down a little bit, but once playoffs starts up again, I'm sure they'll ask for the Lakers vintage. Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely hit up the page, inside Move, sports, vintage, sneakers, and
Yeah.
not the closet, because that's not for sale. That's just for show. All right,
Yeah.
Ricky. So next question for you. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we can ask that. Okay, so we kind of touched in like the craziest pieces of merchandise, that apparel that you have. So what are your featured items that you have right now for your store? So that way people know, hey, Ricky got this. He got this Jordan 1. He got this jersey. So what's that featured item that you have that people can know, that you have currently in stock, that they can hit you up on?
Oh, yeah, that's hard. Like we talked about before, like we sold a lot of our like really like grill pieces, but I think one that people hit me up about is that RV Dust Sabonis Blazers jersey, new with tags. There's not a lot that come to mind, honestly, because I feel like we've sold all of most of the grill pieces. Um, for the new jersey heads in the game who, uh, don't want to spend the big money on like the original vintage jerseys, I have like a Kobe, Mitchell, and Ness jerseys going for like under retail. If you're a viewer on this page, I could shoot it to you for 250 meetup or 250 plus ship. Just make sure to subscribe to Dandin's podcast and show that proof.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's dope, man. That's cool. Yeah, definitely gotta plug that in. So, all right, let's see what we got else here. Okay, so next question to you: are there any pieces that you're looking for your stores, and if so, what are they?
Yeah, that's a good question because I don't, I'm actually not really, we're not really looking for additional pieces for the store. We're really like focused on selling like the collection that my dad has now. There's like a lot of items that we haven't listed yet. So that's, I guess there's not that many pieces that I'm looking to resell. If I am looking for pieces, it's those that I'm looking to flip on my own, like off Sneakers app, for my own personal use. But if there's like a vintage item I'm looking for, it's one that I'm not going to sell. I kind of like that 85 tracksuit. Um, and also just in general, I'm just trying to like stop buying as much clothes as like I used to, and like trying to like narrow down my collection. So if anybody's watching out there though, and they're a jersey collector, one jersey that I want personally is like Quentin Richardson Miami Heat jersey, preferably
Oh,
black and a size 40. Because Adidas ran big at the time, but I'd be good with any color. I'm trying to like step up or complete my Hugh Rich collection, at least one per team, because like getting all of the colors is pretty hard.
yeah, I gotta hit up the homie Mark from the Throwback Store. From shout out to my homie from the UK. So I'm gonna definitely link you up with him. He may know someone that may have that jersey. So it's kind of like we're all in a jersey community. So hopefully you can get that jersey because I know that would like definitely complete your collection as far as like you see everything all laid out and like you're like, damn, I can't believe like completed. It's like the best feeling. Like it's kind of like you have everything that you wanted, in front of you. So yeah, hopefully you get that Miami Heat. And I forgot he played for the Heat too for a brief moment too.
Yeah, like I follow their podcast, and like he always talks about how the Heat is like a good organization, and how they make you really feel like a pro. Like you have to like make like a certain conditioning time or body fat percentage. So like yeah, the Heat is definitely a piece that I'd want to have. But I wanted to ask you like, what's what's a Grail jersey that you're looking for if you don't have it already?
That I have not had. Oh my God, there's a lot. Where do we begin?
Top three.
Top three. All right. I'm big on Nike vintage jerseys, NBA jerseys. So I'm looking for a 97, 98 white Michael Jordan Bulls jersey. Doesn't have to be a pro cut, but it has to be authentic. The white home.
Has to be your
Um,
size too.
that's
52.
like number one. I had an opportunity to cop it from a friend for like $100, but I didn't hit him up, which is a big
Oh,
regret. Yeah.
last
Um,
dance.
I know it was a regret, man. It was way back, almost like 15 years ago. Back when jerseys were, I think, dying down, where like people didn't care about buying jerseys. I just wanted it just for the sake of for having it. So that's the
Yeah,
jersey that I want.
I think we have that jersey, but I, I know it's like it's not player price.
Oh no, no. If it's a 52, we can talk.
Oh, it's
So
not 52.
what size is it?
It's like 48 or 44.
If it's
Yeah.
48, maybe we can definitely talk. Definitely go. I'll have to hit you up after the podcast. Another jersey I'm looking for is I'm also looking for a white home pinstripe Penny Hardaway jersey, Orlando Magic. I've seen a lot of people have the black, like the black away and the alternate royal away,
Yeah.
but I rarely see people have the white penny stripe pinstripe. That always like caught my eye, especially when Penny was like, he was like the new he was like the new thing back in the the early '90s, playing with Shaq. And then when Shaq went to Orlando, he went to the Lakers. He wore them with the Royal foam penny foam posit ones.
I regret selling those.
Oh
shoes.
my god. Oh, foam. We can talk about foam posits on another podcast. The homie RJ, you got the best Jordan ones, the best foam posits. We'll definitely that's another day for another time.
On the next podcast, I'll bring all my shoes.
There you go. We're gonna have you on another podcast for that. And then the last jersey that I'm looking for, I would probably say I'm looking for a purple Shaquille O'Neal Lakers jersey, the one that you got, that model, that 96, 97 model.
Yeah.
So that's hard to find. You know what's funny? I saw that jersey, of all places, I saw it at a Ross. A Ross, right? So get this. Here's a funny story.
You didn't pick it up.
I didn't pick it up.
Oh.
Guess how much the jersey was for?
$30.
$49.99. And the reason why I didn't get it is because it was his pro cut size. It was like a dress. It was like a size like 60. It's crazy, right? Because like I didn't tell anyone about this. Yeah. This is the first time I'm telling you. It was $49.99. I was like, what the hell am I gonna do with a size 60 Shaquille O'Neal? It was the purple away tee that I wanted. So it was funny. It was a Jermaine O'Neal Indiana Pacers pinstripe, a Reebok one. And then for some reason, Ross, this was about 6 years ago, they had next to it was the purple Shaquille O'Neal jersey. So I had it in my hand. Like I had both in my hand. I didn't get both.
6 years ago or 16?
Shaquille O'Neal, I'm sorry, the Jermaine O'Neal. There was O'Neal's jerseys. Like it was Jermaine and Shaq. I think Jermaine O'Neal already got traded. I think he went to a different team, or he probably retired. So it was funny. Like I saw those two jerseys, and I didn't pick them up. I was like, I don't need these. I swear to goodness, they were like it was their team issue jersey because it was a size 60. So that I regretted not getting it. That's why to this day, I'm not gonna ever find a $49.99 pro cut size Shaq jersey. That if I own it, I'm not gonna even tailor it. I'm just gonna keep it the way it is. I'm not gonna wear it. I'm gonna look dumb, look like a dress. But
Damn.
I regret it, man. Definitely regret it.
Wait, that was 6 years ago or 16 years ago?
6 years. I swear to goodness.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised they still had that.
Yeah. So like the weird thing about Ross, like I said, they buy like stuff from different mom and pop stores or like large chains. So it was crazy. It was a 1998 jersey. It had the Nike. Oh my god! Like
I know
people believe me, man. But like I'm telling you, like I saw it yesterday. Like it's just insane. I regret not getting it. Yeah, I'm definitely look. So it's the white Jordan full jersey, the white pinstripe penny home Orlando Magic, and the purple Shaquille O'Neal away jersey. So one day maybe I'll get one of them or get all three, but we'll see how it goes. Jerseys right now they're going up in price as because Last Dance and nostalgia and just rare pieces. Like people can't find those pieces, man.
I think quarantine too. Like people are like at home spending their money because they can't do anything else, like to go outside.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Shaq jerseys go for a little bit cheaper than Kobe. So I'll definitely be on the lookout for those for you.
For sure, appreciate it. All right, so we're almost towards the end of the podcast. Rickey, appreciate your time. So show us your top 5 sneakers in your collection.
Yeah. So like before I do that, I wanted to say that my top 5 to me are the ones that have sentimental value. So as we mentioned before, I said the cool gray 11s were one of my favorites. I actually don't have it on me anymore because I had sold them as like a dumb kid, getting into the flipping and buy, sell, trade. But I would say that in place of that is like the cool gray 4.
Oh
I
wow.
feel like, yeah, like my dad had the original pair in 2004. And I always
What?
wanted, yeah, I always wanted to like grow up and like wear them. By the time they got to me, they were actually too small, and there's like a lot of paint chipping. But yeah, like for me, gray is like my one of my favorite colors, or
Man,
if
that's
not the
dope.
favorite color. Yeah, this is like the 2019 pair, I think. Not a lot of people really like them that much, but yeah, number 5 right here. Um, what's crazy, actually, in my top 5, the Chicago is not going to even make it.
That's a
Funny,
shock.
funny story with that, like when I was growing up into shoes, like I actually didn't prefer the Chicago out of all the ones. Like, yeah, there was first shoe, iconic, historic, but like red isn't like my thing. But shadows are here at number 4. I own
Wow.
the 2013 pair. I own the 2009, and I own the 2018, like 2 pairs of them. But personally, like I said, like this leather, the suede. I feel like even like the placement of the swoosh compared to like the 2018 pairs recently, and like the thickness of the swoosh too, is to me like more accurate. Um, yeah, like definitely
I
agree.
love that pair, man. The cool thing about that pair that people didn't know about, it came with the OG Jordan hang tag, right?
Yes, sir.
Yup. That's how you know you own
Yes,
pairs.
sir.
Cause me and Audrey used to own a pair. So
Yeah.
wow, I like that.
Yeah, my cousin actually helped me get these. He was working at Foot Locker at the time, and he was an employee, and they had the employee appreciation weekend. And back in the day, like these weren't excluded because no one cared
Yep,
about Jumpman on the back.
yep.
So that's at number 4. Um, number number 3 is going to be the 1998 Kobe original All Star shoe. Kind of cheating because this is actually my dad's, but yeah,
Man.
the OG. We had sold like Kobe stuff, and I know like a lot of people bash on Kobe sellers, especially after death, but we had sold some stuff like post death too, for people that I guess really wanted the shoe and gave us like crazy offers. But this is a shoe that like we couldn't give up. Um, like we had like the OG Adidas one, the first Adidas Kobe signature shoe he had. But yeah, like all of this yellowing, all the dirt, it's all perfect to
Man,
me.
that's how you know it's like a 30-year-old shoe, man.
Yeah, like people nowadays are like pre-aging their shoes, right?
It's
So
crazy. I don't it's so dumb.
like shortcutting the process. That was number 3. At number 2, I'm gonna go with the Space Jam 11. So it's a funny story with this. Back in 2009, and this is the 2009 pair because it doesn't say Space Jam Jam. But back in 2009, I was a freshman in high school. This is when like 11s were kind of coming back. Like I think these like resold for like 500 out the door.
That's wild.
But I was telling my dad, I was like, hey, like, you know, I want to camp because that's the only way I'm gonna get them. And then he was like, camp? Why would you do that if I have like the 2000 pair?
Your dad had the 2000. I'm not
But
surprised, man.
but bro, like this is where like a lot of people ask me, like, dude, like, why did he do that? He was like, all right, well, if you're gonna go and buy this shoe for like $200, like, why don't you just buy the 2000 pair off me for 100? And then all my friends were like, damn, bro, your dad sold you his shoes. I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess he just teaches us that like you gotta pay for the things that you really want in life, or at least work hard for it. So
Shoot.
yeah, you know what's crazy though? I wore them for basketball as a freshman.
The 2000 or 2009?
The 2000. So I never actually picked this up in 2009. I wore the 2000s as a freshman, like for ball.
You know, they're more comfortable, right, compared to the '09s.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're way more comfy. But yeah, I recently picked this up. Like Space Jam was like my favorite movie. I have like pictures of me as a kid, in the champion Space Jam jerseys. Um, and then a jersey that I forgot to show. This is like the 2016 retro where Jordan came out with. So my hanger's all crazy. This is annoying. Sorry. Yeah, Jordan came out
Wow,
with.
that's
The
dope. Oh,
2016
that was the yeah, I remember that. That's
Yeah, so
crazy.
yeah, 2016. Like I bought the shoe, but I didn't like him. I didn't like how high the patent leather was and like the number 45 on the back. So I ended up selling them to buy these. But these I haven't worn a whole lot, and I know that they're gonna separate once I wear them. And I've been telling myself like, yeah, I need to wear these because like summer's
Should.
coming up.
You
It's
got
gonna
to,
be hot.
man. Gotta gotta flex on them. And like I said, if it's separate, try to hit
Shout
up
out
the
to Hillary.
homie. Yeah, Hillary, man. Hit up
Yeah.
Ron. He'll bless you your pair back.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's number two. Space Jam was like a big deal to me back in the day, still is. And I have like the LeBron Space Jam shoes at home too, and the jerseys. But at number one, going back to the Ontario Mills story, it's gonna have to be the white cement floor for me. And
You
this is
got
a
it from the outlet.
Oh no. So I didn't get the shoe from that outlet, but no, I didn't get it from the outlet, but
Okay.
I used to
Sick.
wear the 1999 retro to the outlets
Okay.
because like basically my dad was setting us up to flex on everybody.
Damn. That's a cool dad. That's
Yeah.
that's the dad I want to be.
And that's what I was gonna ask you, like how old is your son? Is your son into shoes already?
Yeah. He's 6 years old. He knows that his dad loves shoes. So
Yeah.
like ever since he was born, actually before he was born, I've been buying shoes because baby shoes back then they were cheap. There was no resale, so I knew I had a vision whether if it was a boy or girl that they're gonna wear sneakers, Nikes, Adidas, Reebok, Jordans. So I had them stacked up, and I have shoes for him until I probably maybe when he's like 13. It's crazy, right? So I have a set run from crib, I think, until maybe size 9 men's. Yeah, it's crazy. First
Men?
breaking news, everybody, yeah. About I say 9, see it size 9. So I got player prices, shoes, like as far as like sneakers. I have silver foam maxes that size 1 that's
Ooh.
it's wrapped.
Those are the
And
Dunkin' ones, right?
Tim Duncans, yeah. Tim Duncans. They're still wrapped. Those it comes with the OG orange box.
You're gonna crumble them.
Bro, like I don't think I'm hesitant to take them out, but I think I'm gonna just keep it the way it is. I don't wanna it's like a collection piece. So yeah, man, like my kid really, really into shoes. And then what right now with the new Space Jam trailer that came out, he was curious, like, what's the first movie? And I just recently showed him Space Jam,
Yeah.
and he loved it, just like how I loved it when I was a kid. So to me, that meant a lot. So now, I got him some dope stuff. He has a pair of space. There you go. He has shorts too. Yeah.
Did
So
you get them for him?
yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So you were able to help me out. I was able to get some shorts. I even got a pair of shorts too. Um, so he has a little dope little outfit that he wanted to. He said, I want to wear it when the movie comes out. I mean, it's gonna be
Heck yeah.
like HBO Max. So like kind of like have stuff already picked out for him to wear. So he has his Space Jams. Yeah, man, it's just fun. It's just like hearing how your dad, you have stories about your dad is like what I'm going through with my kid now. you know, I mean, he may not know what the shoes are, like the models. He knows what I'm like, you know, he knows if I show what shoe is that, that's a Michael Jordan shoe. You know, automatically he'll know it's a Michael Jordan shoe because like he knows the logo.
Yeah.
But he knows, oh, it's a Nike because there's a check mark. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's dope. Like it's really nice that he picks up those small little things. And like people are like, you're like brainwashing him. Why can't he have like light up shoes? I mean, he has light up shoes. I don't really like, I don't tell him don't wear them. You know, he wears whatever he wants.
Yeah, my
But
dad deprived me of like Heelys. Like I wanted the Heelys
yeah,
back in the day. He was like, "Why would I get you those? Like just get these like shoes on clearance. These J's on." That's dope
definitely,
though.
man.
It's
Yeah.
cool.
So you know, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. You know what I mean? That it's really true. So whatever you know you put into the kid, you know, they kind of pick it up. But you know, like I said, I didn't force him to like shoes. He likes it like as much as I do.
Yeah,
So
it's funny how you said you didn't force him. Like my older sister's name is Jordan, and my dad says he says that he didn't name her after Michael Jordan, but we always like
right.
joke with him like, yeah, sure. So my sister
Okay.
used to be the one to like wear the first Jordans. Like she had like the Jordan 11 bread, and then or it was called playoff back then, or black and red. And then my she handed them down to me, and then handed them down to my brother. So like that shoe collection that you have for your son, like do you have like a younger child or that
No,
pass it down?
I only have one child. If you want, let me show you a couple of his pairs. I'll be right back. I'll show
Yeah,
it
yeah,
real
yeah,
quick.
for sure. While he's gone, there's a customized Jamal Crawford jersey, mesh numbers. I was showing jerseys while you were gone.
Oh man, you got that? Oh, that's dope.
Yes, Louisville
What
that actually wear this
Louisville?
one, but like for some reason they had it on Fanatics and I bought it. And then like recently I've been getting into like buying blanks and getting them customized.
You go to EPS?
Yeah, so I went to EPS,
Nice.
got the mesh numbers on the Crawford.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. All right, so I'll show you a couple of pieces that I've had. So this one is a pair that my kid was playing basketball before I pulled him out during the pandemic. So these are the '03 cement threes.
Nice.
So,
Wow.
you know, he dogged these things. I mean, it was funny, right? Like his coaches were like every time I would flex him out, I would put him in a champion jersey, and then like these like some white cement threes, and then in this instructor were like, "Dang, like, is that your kid? Like, is he really wearing like retro Jordans right now for like playing basketball?" I said, "Man, I've had these, so like you know,
You,
just gonna wear them."
you
And
know,
then
can I
yeah,
say something?
what's
Like
up?
that's really cool that you brought out the white cement three because we were just talking about that. And like I was gonna ask you like, oh, like what kind of shoes is your kid into, or what do you have him wear? Because all the kids right now are probably wearing like Stephen Curry's,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how it was for me growing up. Like all the kids were wearing Kobe's, but my
Yep.
dad used to dress me up in Jordans, and
Yep.
I don't know, everything just kind of came full circle right now. Like seeing those white cement threes.
There you go.
You got the O3s, and I had the 94s. Like,
Yeah. And it was dope. I just recently I had a pair of the O3s. I just recently did a soul swap and then changed the tab to Nike. So it was the homie Ron from Illery that hooked me up with a pair. So That'll be another time for the podcast. So,
Yeah.
so next thing I was going to show you, like, because we tell the truth over here. So that's OG box.
Air Force Max.
Yes, sir.
Barkley?
So,
Those are my dad's favorite shoes. He said, playing ball.
oh man,
The
these,
black one? Oh no, those are the foam posit Max.
yeah. So look at the bubble, right?
Oh,
And this has been saran wrap.
wow.
So I've been offered like some, to sell these. Like, I can't sell these, man.
Wow.
I can't.
Yeah. Who shrink wrapped that for you?
I bought it. I got it from a trade. I sold a pair of my Nike Dunks for like 10 pairs of like kid shoes.
Mm.
So I was like, you know what? I don't need these anymore. Like, I might as well get something cool for my kid. So last thing I want to just show you, and he's right now a size 12. So this is a 1.5. So this is a Jordan box. This is a Jordan 1 Old Love from the BMP pack.
Oh yeah.
So
Dude, those are dope. When I first got into Soul Collector, like in '08, the mids were actually like pretty cool, and
Yeah.
I thought they were cool. But yeah, I remember the old loves being.
yep. So like, yeah, man, my kid. I mean, not to be bragging, but he'll be fine until he'll be. I can say he'll be a cool kid as he grows up. Having
Yeah.
cool shoes.
Yeah, he's gonna have like all the vintage, what's gonna be considered vintage.
Yeah.
That's funny. That I wanted to ask you like with the shoe game being the way it is, like
Mhm.
obviously you went through your era, older Nike talk, where the community was a lot better, and you've talked about bots and how annoying it is. But like, how do you envision the sneaker game to be when your kid is like 14, 15 years old? And then part two to that is, do you think you'll help your kid go after shoes, or do you think you'll be like, nah, like you get your own bot? Or
Damn. So I'm gonna answer your second question first because I think we're still rolling with the kid thing.
yeah,
Of course, I'm definitely gonna help my kid, get what he needs. Of course, you have to teach him. You can't go beyond your means to like buy a shoe.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. You're gonna spend 1,000, and then you're not gonna even, you're just not gonna even like take care of it, or just gonna just keep, just wear it just once and just set it and forget it kind of thing. Um, I'm definitely gonna help my kid out if he wants a pair of shoes and try to educate him as much as I can. As far as like, knowing more about the shoe or what he can expect from like. I don't want him to camp out. It's crazy nowadays. People getting killed. Even like the Toro ones, like Toro fives. Like I saw like social media. There was like a rampage in the mall because like people didn't get them, and I don't want my kid to go through that. Nobody wants to go through that.
Mhm.
And to ask your first question, I'm sorry. What your first question again is? What was it?
Like, how do you see the shoe game being
Shoe game.
when your kid is 15? Because right
Yeah.
now we're in the era of bots, and it's really
So
difficult.
yeah. So with that, I think I hope it gets better because right now we're in a culture vulture type of society right now, or generation, where it's a copycat. Everybody wants to have a brick and mortar. Everybody wants to have their own business. Everybody wants to resell. Not anything with you. You've been in the business for a long time. Even when you were a child, it was started by your dad. And not going against other people, but it's oversaturated right now, and I hope Nike can learn from their lessons of like having limited stuff, because it's actually our fault, to be honest.
Yeah.
There was a point in time where things were oversaturated, where Jordans were sitting, and because we wanted them to be available, and you know 5 years ago, 3 years ago, Jordans were sitting on shelves. Like people, it were discounted. People still didn't want them. Ended up being outlets. People still didn't want them. So now, like, Nike wanted to cater to the public. Okay, we'll make it limited again. And then now all of a sudden you see all these like craziness, like the resale is just crazy. And I hope when my kid's 6, he's 6 now, so hopefully when in 10 years or whatever he decides to get in more into shoes, I hope, I'm sure it'll be, and I hope, and like I said, I'm not sure if it's going to be guaranteed, but I hope that it would be much better for him to get shoes, because I think he'll be fine, as far as like
Get a full-size run.
full-size run, right? So like my dad got me all these shoes, like I'm gonna just wear them. I mean, if he wants to be the smart kid and not pay for anything, which I hope he takes that that route, but there'll be certain things he might be interested in. He might be interested in, like swimming, or like he wants to do stuff, that's not sports related. So
Yeah.
be it.
Yeah.
So, I'm just here for me to just guide him, be the best dad that I can be for him, and also like share like moments, like it's kind of corny. I kind of dress him up like when you go out, we wear the same shoes. I'm sure your brother, your dad and your brother went through that as like a family.
Yeah.
To me, it's people think it's corny, right? But it's actually really cool. Like people think it's like it's dumb. Like, why are you dressing like your kid? Well, it's like this is like my expression, like my appreciation. Like this is what and my kid too. Like he said, let's wear. He'll tell me like, Papa, let's wear the Spider-Man shoes. Like he loves like Spider-Man, like Chicago ones.
Oh yeah, that's the origin stories.
So he doesn't have the origin stories. He has. I bought him the pair of the band mids. So and I happened to get a pair of the band mids. So he called them Spider-Man shoes.
Oh, nice.
Like yeah, it's like, Papa, let's wear the Spider-Man shoes today. So we'll go like to the grocery or whatever, or we'll go hang out, and then we'll put them on. So it's cool, like just seeing him like being getting knowing what things are and what they mean, without him like going through like paying for something. Like I think I did the hard part already. The easy part for him is just to put them on.
Yeah, I resonate with both of your answers like a lot. I think, like with getting shoes, like you don't want them to pay for resale price.
Yeah.
Like I don't tell my dad how much I paid for like the neutral gray ones that just came out,
Yeah.
or even these Chicago's. But one thing like he did teach us is like, one, it is really expensive to keep up with the Joneses or look cool. And two, in order for you to do that, like you should be smart, work hard for it, like collect bottles to recycle. I used to sell candy back in high school to pay for my Jordans or my dances, or I was fortunate to like get shoes from my parents for like good grades or birthdays, but they'd be like, all right, like, do you want like $180 shoe, just one for the year, or I can take you to the clearance rack and you can get like 3 of them. And they taught me how to like take care of my stuff and even resell. He's like, yeah, like I don't care if you decide to trade for something else, but you can learn that you can buy something at a lower price and get more. And then like what you're talking about with like dressing up and stuff, like if you don't mind, I want to like go get my phone to show you like,
go
how my
ahead.
dad used to dress me up.
Go for it.
Yeah. But yeah, like I think it's like really cool that you're sharing like your hobby with your son and you're planning to like teach him about like the old generation. Like I was super lucky to like be having like the Jordan Come Fly With Me like VHS videos or like NBA ankle breakers. But here's me in like a Toon Squad jersey. My dad,
dope.
yeah, he screen printed the Inside Moves logo on the chest.
Man.
He put me in like the wristbands. Like even this one right here, I'm wearing the penny twos.
You wore on the right side too, where Jordan puts his wristband too. That's how
Yeah,
you know. That's how you know to a T that your dad was like really like into it. You know what I mean?
yeah, like I think it's really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing like how your son is gonna be like sharing the hobby with you because hopefully like the culture doesn't die out and you know get oversaturated with
Man, on the Barkley one too. That's
yeah.
awesome, man.
Oh yeah, this was like when he took us to the there was like the NBA All-Star game in
Yeah.
2004 in LA, and like he had us dressed up in Laker jerseys, which I don't know why, but this is my little brother and like
Man,
the
that's
champion,
dope. That's real
champion
dope.
Kobe. And what's the coolest thing about all this stuff? Like he still kept those kids' jerseys. Like my girlfriend wears the jersey that I used to wear when I was young. Like
Hmm.
just recycle them. So yeah, it's a really dope hobby. Definitely lucky to like share this with my pops and be able
Yeah.
to enjoy it and do the resell. But yeah, it's cool like being able to share these stories on your podcast because like they get lost in translation with
Hmm.
all of the resell TikTok or whatever,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta keep
Definitely.
going.
So yeah, man. Thank you so much, Ricky, for coming on. Where can they find you on your social media?
Yeah, so you can find us on Inside Move Sports on Instagram. So you just go, it's all one word, Inside Move Sports. For sneakers, you can find us on Inside Moves .kicks. And then for vintage, you can find us on Inside Moves .vtg. I can also share you like my Linktree link that has
Absolutely.
all of our pages. If you want to follow my personal life, it's Rick Havoc. Took that from Tyreek Evans, but yeah.
Nice, nice. All right, man. So thank you so much, Ricky, for coming on. We wish nothing but the best towards your business. You got a lot of dope, cool stories that you shared to us, and a lot of great merchandise that you're selling right now. And definitely, we're gonna plug you in. Definitely hook you up with my homie Mark from the UK. Hopefully, he can get you find that Miami Heat Richardson jersey. I'm sure he knows somebody.
Or
You
even a
know,
Miami Heat blank, and then I'll just like
yeah,
release.
there you go. I'm sure, and like I said, we know it in this network that we have, we all help each other out. So we're all about that. So all right, thank you so much, Ricky, for coming on. This is Dandin of the Dandin and the RJ Machismo podcast. Have a good night.
All right, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it.